After you've prepared your existing files, you'll come into QuickBooks and you'll move up to the File menu and come down about a third of the way or so where it says Utilities. And in the Flyout menu, you'll see a couple of options that may be interesting. First of all, you can import, for example, importing those Excel files I was talking about. But right now, we're interested in converting, which is a little bit different. It's a little bit further down the menu. And from the Convert Flyout menu, you will see the options to convert from Quicken, from Peachtree, from Microsoft Small Business Accounting, which was the earlier versions, or Microsoft Office Accounting, which are the later versions. They changed the name. I'm going to choose Microsoft Office Accounting, and I'll give that a click. It informs me that I need to go online to download the QuickBooks conversion tool, and I'll click yes to doing that now. This displays the Intuit website for downloading the conversion tool, and there's some information here that you can read if you want to. It tells you a little bit about the tool, but what we really need to do is scroll on down through all of the information about what can and can't be converted until we find a simple form. We need to fill out this form in order to be able to download the conversion tool. So I'll go ahead and fill that out. And it wants to ask us a couple of questions. It wants to know if our accountant suggested the switch to QuickBooks. I will say no. And did the availability of this conversion tool help you drive your decision? It didn't help drive my decision, but you'd be amazed how many people really don't want to convert anything, regardless of how old their software is, if they have to type anything in. So the fact that there is a conversion tool can really be a big factor for a lot of people. Once I get that filled out, I'll click on Submit. The next screen that comes up talks about the actual conversion, gives us a little checklist that says you're going to download the tool and install it, convert your data with the easy-to-use tool, and then begin using your data in QuickBooks. I like that 1, 2, 3 makes it easy. I'm going to click on the download button. Because I'm running Windows Vista, it asks me if I want to run the program from where it is or to save it. I'll go ahead and click on Save. And I'll just save it to the desktop. And I'll click Save again. And after just a few seconds, or maybe a few minutes, depending on what kind of connection speed you have, it will be all finished. We can go ahead and close out the browser window. And I'm also going to completely close QuickBooks because we don't want QuickBooks or your accounting software to be open while you do a conversion. Once I'm back to my desktop, I can look for the icon. It should be called QuickBooks Conversion Tool Setup. We want to give that a double click so that we actually can set up the software before we run the conversion. So I'll double click. I'll tell it to go ahead and run. And it needs to know where I want to install this. Normally, I would probably install it to its own folder or maybe to program files. For this particular case, I'm actually going to store it just to my desktop. Once it gets to the Install Shield wizard, we'll go ahead and step through this one. I'll say Next. We always have to accept the terms of the license agreement and then click Next again. Verify where the installation is going to occur, and then click Install to begin. Once again, if you're running Windows Vista, you may be prompted several times during this process whether you want to allow the program to run. I'm going to go ahead and say to allow it, and then it should be able to continue. Once it's finished, it will tell you that it has finished, and you can go ahead and click the Finish button to complete the setup. And then you're ready to start your conversion.